Hey guys, Demi here from Atlas Vibrations Spirituality, and I am here with your full SuperMoon and Taurus collective update. So first thing I want to tell you guys, there's a couple astrological things happening, and I'll put videos out at some point for them, but for my Saturn returners, today is the day Saturn has gone direct. I am so excited because I feel like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. So for those of you that have the Saturn in Pisces, you probably feel a little bit better today if the full moon is not kicking your ass. But we do have it going retrograde one more time kind of next year when it goes into Aries, because it will backtrack a little bit or slow down and go back into Pisces, so you'll have a little bit of time to clear that up. But just wanted to put that there. Mercury retrograde is starting on the 25th in Sagittarius, so you're already seeing that. We'll do videos on it another time. And then Mars is also going to go station retrograde on December 6th, I believe. So you're already seeing that in the sign of Leo. So you're feeling things right now. It's a little heavy right now, and the big thing that we need to take at one step at a time, obviously, is this full supermoon in Taurus. So for the last 2 weeks or so, you have been feeling a very heavy emotional weight, but also, how can I explain this? Because right now the moon is conjunct Uranus right now, and we're feeling that we need some radical change and unexpected changes coming within our emotions. And so key thing with Taurus is it is ruled by Venus. It is a feminine sign. It is ruled by the body part of the neck, and it is an earth sign. So this is all about, like, Taurus rules money, material things. Let me grab my notes. Your self-worth, any luxury items, value defined by the material, the physical work that you do to make money, food, and peace. Now, for those of you that know Taurus people, know who have these placements, they are very determined, hardworking people. They're peaceful, they're grounded, they're stable. They usually have a high sense of self-worth, and they're very content. And so you're feeling all of this, right? Now, like every sign, it has its shadow aspects of being stubborn, as Taurus does, lazy, cold, unaffected by drama or emotion, low self-worth, and not high enough standards or greed. Very means of greediness and maybe overspending as well. Key thing that we need to take from this full moon, I'm going to give you a small astrological read. If I have time, I will definitely pull some cards for you, because this Samhain deck came out from the Witches, or Season of the Witch Oracle, so we'll pull some cards if we can. But we are clearing out the emotional closets to create peace. And being that Uranus is conjunct the moon, meaning in astrology they're very close together. They're practically in the sky in the same placements, very close by maybe a couple degrees. We're feeling unexpected changes within all of those things that I have just gone over that rules Taurus. So you're seeing that you need radical expression and freedom depending on where it is in your chart, where you need to take a little bit more of a risk. Now, being that Uranus is retrograde right now, it's really showing you where you feel out of place, where the groups that you belong to, your friendships, that there isn't any peace, who has changed, who you can't, relate to anymore. And I'm talking like this. It's unexpected. You may have seen that you had an issue with a friend, that there's no more peace anymore. You're like, wow, this person has changed. There isn't anything more that where it makes you feel not good in your self-worth anymore, if that makes sense. And it's really causing for you to make that change. Maybe changes that you haven't made. Maybe you're seeing that you need to be a little bit more emotionally invested in your finances, and seeing where people don't make you feel good about that. Where do you need to change that, right? So we also have a couple different aspects here with the moon. So the moon is also opposite the sun in Scorpio at 24 degrees. Now, depending on where this is in your chart, and this is the best example that I'm going to give you, and how to move through with this on an emotional level, okay? And understanding, because we go through this I'm trying to, at least in every video that I make for you guys, to implement the changes based off of the seasons and what's going on. So particularly for me, Taurus rules my 8th house, and that is the baseline of Scorpio. So if you have not watched my video about the new moon in Scorpio, just to get that idea of what Scorpio rules and things like that, go back and take a look. But I personally have my north node in here, my south node in here, and 8th house in Taurus, and I also have Mars in my 8th house in Taurus. So this is running over natally for me. So the best thing I can say is, with the moon opposite the sun, my 2nd house is Scorpio, but the house that rules it is Taurus. So I'm feeling emotional pulls where emotionally I really want to be comfortable with everybody else's money and finances, or I really want to feel comfortable in my spirituality and the deep feelings that I get and feeling at peace with that. But when it's opposite the sun in my 2nd house, I want to create money for myself. And I want to really be able to feel that and see that I can be this really deep person, and I can really express my feelings at a deep level. I want to be sexual. I want to, do all of these things and create and live for my things, like my material things. And I've been telling my friends lately, I've been blowing money like crazy. And so Scorpio rules other people's money, and this is the banks and everything. Banks, other people's finances around you. So keep that in mind with Scorpio, depending on where it's at in your chart. So now these two are opposite. I am emotionally feeling that, well, guess what? I really want to be at peace and like let other people buy things for me. And I really want to put the shit on a credit card. But in reality, I'm like, okay, well, I want to go out and make my money. I want to be able to like the things that I do have. And I want to, I'm at clashing because I feel like I can't live for the purpose of creating if I feel comfortable enough sitting in that. Does that make sense? So see where this is, and the general thing is seeing where your emotions and being at peace are trying to cause change and moving in that fluidity. We do have a couple other things here, but I personally feel it might be a little too much to kind of go over without a part 2. But what I want everybody to keep in mind is peace is important. And I think that this is something that I've been learning with the Saturn return over the last few years. And I just think that it's really important to find that peace, accept the changes that are being made. What is the lesson teaching you at this time? And even making those changes with food and seeing where you feel more of that higher vibration of Taurus and that self-worth. So you're seeing that, your material things that may be breaking, things may have been unexpectedly just not working. You're seeing that there's ways that you're eating that aren't working for you. You're seeing that there's just people that don't value you. They don't understand it. And with this, we have some, I don't want to say issues, but the main thing that they want me to go over is that the moon is in conjunct Pallas Athena. And I think that this is also something that you need to take with you. And what that means is Pallas Athena rules our intellect. It rules how smart we are. It rules our intelligence. It rules how we gain wisdom. And so it is in Sagittarius right now. And what that means is, for us with the moon being in conjunct, is that there is tension from there not being enough education, learning, being taught things. There's a lot of difficulties, and you probably have seen instant changes in your expressions for freedom, and especially with this conjunction with Uranus, right? So you're seeing more radical freedom. You need to be free from something. These are things that you're seeing that are undesirable. It's affecting your health. It's affecting, like, and you're feeling like you're being forced and willed, like, against your will to do these things by other institutional places, depending on where it's at in your chart, right? So, and the best way I can explain this is in my 3rd house. This is in conjunct with my 3rd house. So I'm seeing that what needs to be changed is the fact that I know, because of Sagittarius energy, I know how to speak. I've learned how to speak. I know how to communicate. I know how to balance, in some ways, to an extent, my mind. I know what I think. I know how to speak properly. I know how to teach people how to speak. I've gained wisdom in words. I know how to talk. So what this means is that I need to make those changes and understanding that I am an intellectual person. I know what I'm doing. I know how to speak. I'm not stupid. And I do know how to move through this. And now I need to make these changes because I need my freedom from how I make this certain way of money, and how I need my freedom from the debts that I need to make. And I know that I'm not getting enough communication maybe on other people's ends from how other people talk. It's very deep. This is the thing that is really hard to explain. It's very deep. So I want you to feel what that is. And that's my feeling. Even though I need to make these changes, that people aren't making me feel like I have a high value and self-worth. Maybe they're not buying me enough things, but I'm realizing too, I can vocalize that and say, hey, and my communication is really great, and I need to mentally process how I can pay off the debts. I'm not dumb, and I'm being forced to think about it and make those changes to give myself that feeling of self-worth, because I personally sometimes don't feel like I have a lot of value or worth because I am in debt. It plays a big part, and this is what the astrology does. So I want you guys to think about that. There's many different things. If you would like a part 2, I will make one, but I don't want to be talking your ear off all day either. But Spirit's advice to us as we continue to move through the supermoon and to make the changes as the moon shows its fullness tonight. I have apples here. And I will admit, I feel like this is not the worst card in this deck, but it's not the happiest one. So for some of you, this might be a little triggering, but if you feel that it's time to get up and go and leave some things behind, do it. Some of you guys are overgiving. You're giving too much. You're giving too much of yourself away. And for some of you, and I'm just being honest, your hard-earned money and things that you have worked for is not for you to give away to other people. I feel like that's a specific message for somebody. So your fame, your hard work, your dedication is not for you to give away, for you to be for that. And it's not, for some, you need to hear this, it is not for you to give away for free. Okay? This is where we need to step more into our self-worth. And this is also people who do not have your best interest. So you're giving away to takers. And the key thing is, walk away from anything that does not value you or does not make you feel good about yourself, because these are things that you have worked for. People, for some of you or for select few of you, you feel that people are coming for you and what you've worked for. Take this as a thing. If you need that feeling, cry it out, walk away, and make the changes and to bring yourself to a new place of peace. Taurus doesn't like change. Taurus does not like change, so it's very hard for us to make that change. Best practical action for us to take as a collective to move forward with this full moon is spider, okay? For some of you, this is very Capricorn energy. You could have a Capricorn stellium or just a strong Capricorn placement. Set your foundation, create and set the hard work in, but also move in flow with that feminine energy. Capricorn energy is not meant to be masculinized like we do on a societal level, okay? Attract what you're working for. Understand that it takes time if you're building something. Also, don't allow people to manipulate you, but allow yourself to step in, create your reality, know the things that you've worked for are your own, and you also have enough. You have enough, and learning to be grateful in that, okay? There's something else. But for some of you, you need to create that vision. If you're too stuck in that Taurus energy where you're sitting there really comfortable where you're at, this is when you need to take that Scorpio energy for change and allowing the chaos to kind of run its course. Allow the conjunction of Uranus to run its course. Allow yourself to feel the wisdom from Pallas Athena and Sagittarius and freedom to initiate that change. There's also a trine to Pluto at 29 degrees. There's a trine at Ceres at 29 degrees. So this is really good to break free from radical change, take care of yourself, seeing that you need to let go of the illusions with the sextile from Neptune in retrograde. So it's a really good way to realize that you need to learn to speak this out, and seeing that you need to maybe talk about this and with your words too. So I hope that this resonated with you. I hope that you can begin to heal. Till next time, namaste.